Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, rather had gonna yeah.
You don't have to reveal your secrets, but playing against Ben and Fed, what are the strategies you're using? Like, what are the few things that you're really
My
focused on?
my biggest single strategy, and I don't think enough people do this, and they some people get confused when I tell them, when you're returning, I think return to their strength. In men's singles, I think that's the forehand most of the time. So I'm returning forehand almost 95% of the time, and I've told even people that I play that. So I'm not afraid to admit that or tell anyone that. So I'm going to return to their strength, and it opens up the rest of the court. I think too many times people in singles try to return to the weaker shot, which is usually the backhand in men's, like I said. So then your fourth ball is going to be to their best shot, whereas if I return to the forehand, my fourth ball is going to be to their weaker shot. Then it just opens up the whole court.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
think
Okay.
a lot of
It's
times in
counterintuitive.
doubles as well, right? In doubles,
Yeah.
you say, all right, we want to pick on this person's forehand dink or this person's
Yeah.
backhand dink. Well, players are good enough where if you just give them a lollipop to that spot, like they're not going to miss, and they're going to be still looking for that
Yeah.
shot.
And the court
Something
is
in tennis.
small. I mean, it's not a big court. So people are able to find their strengths really easily. So isolating their strength and then their weakness is that's what I try to do in singles.
For sure.
Mhm.
With that return of serve, if you're returning to me and I want to hit a forehand, I can find a forehand
Yeah.
pretty much regardless.
And an inside-out
But-
forehand is so hard to read. I think it's the hardest shot on the court to read. You look at Tyson, if he's on the left side of the court hitting a forehand, he can hit it one of like 5 spots past you. Whereas if he's hitting a backhand, he's going to do one of maybe 2 or 3 things max, and only one of them can hurt you. So, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good tip for the listeners at home. You got to open up your opponent's weakness.
Yeah.
You can't just go to it with nothing.
Yeah, you got to open it
have
up to the
to-
strengths, I think.
Definitely.
All right. And then, so mentioning Dylan, Ben, Fed, of those opponents, for you personally, who's the toughest to play against? They're kind of top 3 right now.
I mean, out of those 3, I would say, I would still say Ben. I think his variety is crazy. He can do so much stuff with the ball, and he can hurt you from a lot of spots on the court. If he gets to the net and we're playing cat and mouse, I'm going to lose that point 90% of the time, so I have to keep him back. But that also puts a lot of pressure on me to hit deep returns and deep forwards. So I would say Ben. I think my toughest match of the tournament was Grayson, and not just because I'm friends with them, but I think those tennis guys, they're brutal. I mean, they can hurt you from anywhere. Like, if I don't hit a deep return, they're going to rip a passing shot by me, and you can get hot in singles and have 5 good minutes and hit 8 good passing shots, and the match is over. So that's for me personally. That's my opponent that I like playing the least is a former big tennis player that can just rip forehands and rip backhands.
Yeah.
Who wins in tennis between you and Grayson?
I don't know. We actually tried to play tennis a few days ago, and we weren't able to get on court, but it'd be a fun match. I would love to see a tennis tournament with all these pickleball guys. Put like 15
Yeah, I'm
of us
sitting that one out
and see who wins.
Yeah, who do you think wins that tournament?
I don't know. There's a lot of good players. I mean, obviously Jack would win, but if you
Yeah. All right, Jack doesn't count. Neither does.
you gotta take him out of the
Cam
equation.
Cleary.
I feel like I was a great tennis player. I know Grayson was a great tennis player. I'm sure a lot of the PPA guys that I don't know as well, I'm sure they were really good players. So I think it'd be fun to watch.
Yeah.
So are you planning to continue grinding APP, or are you looking at PPA now like, okay, this is where I'm at. I should be competing against the top guys week in, week out. And how are you thinking about?
Yeah, I mean, my goal right now is to beat the best players in the world, but it's also to get better. That's my number one focus right now, and I think the more matches I can play, the better I'm going to get. So playing APP and PPA is working out really well for me right now. The more matches I can get. So, you look at like Zane or whoever, all these guys that have been around forever, they played 10 times more pickleball matches than me. So to isolate myself on one tour or the other is, it's not worth it for me right now. So I just want to get as many matches as I can.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, it's nice to see different players. You can learn something from every different player you play from. You can pick something up from, okay, Ben does this really well. Dylan does this really well. Will Howells does this really well.
Yeah, and there's so many upcoming players on APP Tour right now that play different styles or, might hit some different shots. So seeing different looks is huge, I think.
Oh, there it is. Look at that. Thomas.
Tifosi.
Oh, there it is. I got him this time.
Tifosi is the Italian word for superfan, and that is exactly who they make their eyewear for. Tifosi Optics designs sunglasses that allow you to get out and live your passion. Tifosi Glide technology allows the frame to slide on comfortably and provide an anti-bounce fit with an integrated hinge, ensuring these sunglasses slide on easily without pulling your hair. Crafted from shatterproof polycarbonate, these lenses not...
Let's see, are they shatterproof?
You gotta hit me.
I did.
Thank God I was wearing my Tifosi. These lenses not only reduce glare, but also offer scratch resistance, ensuring unparalleled eye protection. Hydrophilic rubber nose pads that increase grip. The more you sweat, so glasses will stay secure during even the most intense activities. Shop now at TifosiOptics.com and save 20% with code DINK20. That's all caps, DINK20. TifosiOptics.com.
So if you're playing, we talked a little bit about the whether or not it's Bush League to play with a Yola Gen 3. If your opponents are playing Bush League with a Yola Gen 3, you got to wear eye protection. Tifosi, look at that. Thomas?
Tifosi.
Oh, there it is. I got him this time. I hope the camera was on you for that. There we go. Great option,
Tifosi.
regardless of which paddle you're playing against. Tifosi.
So Clayton Edwards from Facebook
From
wants
Oklahoma
to
City?
know when the... Oh, is that one of your boys?
Yeah, like he's a bad luck guy. Yeah, I don't play with him that often, but yeah, I know he's from Oklahoma City.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, he wants to know when the Haworth signature is coming out.
Man, I hope next year I got to get a couple more wins. Maybe a couple more PPA titles will get me that signature.
There you go. Now, do you think Babolat would do that? Like, they don't even have signatures necessarily for tennis, did they? Like,
No, they
Rafa Nadal had the...
Rafa, obviously, he developed the Pure Arrow, I think is what it's called now. But but I don't really know that that's a thing for tennis. I don't know that very many people have like a signature tennis racket, I wouldn't say. For pickleball, it seems more of a trend.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
Yeah.
Well, any thoughts you have?
Do what?
Why do you think that is? Tennis versus
I don't know.
pickleball?
I thought it. I honestly, when I started playing pickleball, I thought it was kind of weird. I like picked up the paddle and it like had someone's name on it, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. And also, like as a player, like especially a pro player, like I wouldn't want to use a paddle that has like a competitor's name on it. Like if I'm playing, like I don't want to be playing with the Zane paddle. That would be.
No, that's wrong. Already. You want to play with his paddle and you want to beat him with his own paddle.
Yeah, that's better.
Kind of disrespect.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah,
that's true. That's my paddle now. Yeah, but at the same time in tennis, right? You had Federer with his racket that was basically the Federer signature. Right. You had Nadal with the green Babolat that was essentially his racket.
Yeah,
Djokovic with that head racket, like everybody associated that one with him. Like these guys are all kind of associated with those paddles, even if they don't necessarily have their name on it.
Yeah.
But we all got to throw names on them in pickleball.
Yeah, exactly. It just makes you feel a little bit better. I also think pickleball, I've heard the term like we're all fighting for crumbs. So it's like, to get your name on a paddle, that's a huge step forward in the industry for whoever that is. So that'd obviously be something super special if it happened for me.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, rather had fun.